Who was the captain of the First Fleet? It's a question that leads us to one of the most significant figures in Australian history, a man chosen to lead a fleet of 11 ships across vast, treacherous oceans to establish a colony on the far side of the world. Who was he, and why was he entrusted with such an extraordinary mission? Stay with us, because by the end, you'll know exactly who this remarkable leader was. The year was 1787, and Britain was desperate to solve a serious problem. Overcrowded prisons and rising crime had pushed British society to a breaking point. With no more room in Britain, the government decided to send its convicts halfway around the world to a remote place they barely knew, Australia. This decision required a leader with courage, intelligence, and a strong sense of duty. The journey would be perilous, and the stakes were high. Failure was not an option. Leading a fleet of 11 ships filled with over 700 convicts, soldiers, officers, and essential supplies was no small task. The man chosen to command the First Fleet would need to ensure the survival of everyone on board through storms, disease, and the unpredictable challenges of the open sea. For months, he'd have to make crucial decisions in the face of danger, all while keeping order among a diverse and often reluctant crew. The voyage would test even the most experienced sailor. They faced weeks of harsh storms, dwindling supplies, and the constant threat of illness. As they crossed the equator and ventured deeper into unknown waters, this captain stood at the helm, responsible for navigating the treacherous seas and keeping morale up, even when spirits were low. Every day, he worked to balance discipline with compassion, knowing that each person on those ships relied on his leadership. But leading the fleet was only half the mission. When they finally reached Australia's shores, this captain would need to find a safe harbor, establish order, and begin the daunting task of building a new colony. It wasn't just about getting there. It was about laying the foundations of a new society in an unknown land. So, who was the captain of the First Fleet, the man chosen to command such a monumental journey? His name was Captain Arthur Phillip. Phillip led the First Fleet across treacherous oceans and became the first governor of New South Wales, marking the start of European settlement in Australia. His leadership and vision would shape the early years of the colony, leaving an indelible mark on Australian history.